This is the John Brown Alliance, where we don't fear, we fight. When Chuck Schumer and HAKEEM Jeffries walk into that meeting with Donald Trump, guess what's going to happen? Not a whole lot. What they're going to do is open communication. What that means is absolutely nothing. Right now, Republicans in Congress have left and refused to speak to Democrats about the upcoming funding of the United States government for the next year. We should not support a continuing resolution. We should not support tax-paying citizens paying for fascism in the street, people being snatched up, kids in cages, kids separated from their families, schools being invaded by ICE, or the National Guard in the cities of the United States. That being said, you have a choice to make. But I must give you all of the information. Between now and the end of September, we need every swinging dick to make their way, if they can, to Washington, D.C. Because a very important vote is about to take place. Or not. What is about to take place is a hostile takeover of your future. On October 1, even though Donald Trump has already stolen through Doge all of the money that was allocated through Congress for certain programs in certain states, especially sanctuary cities and blue states, have not received the money that they deserve. Now keep in mind, if you support Donald Trump, that every piece of food you put in your mouth and every school lunch program at the schools are financed by blue states and people like me that pay way higher taxes than you are, and we have been supporting your asses for quite some time. But I digress. We need to take a stand. At every turn, Democratic elected officials don't take the opportunity to stand up against this fascist regime. They want to have a meeting with Donald Trump. I say the same thing that the American veterans that support me say. Fuck Donald Trump. And for every American that has never served in the United States military under someone other than Donald Trump, you are not in any way as strong and principled as these people. This is not the problem of the American people who elected you. This is your moral breakdown right now. So I'm going to ask Chuck Schumer and HAKEEM Jeffries to look outside the fucking box. I know you don't shudder at $10 for a pound of bacon. I know you don't worry about how you're going to gas up your car. Because most of you, like Nancy Pelosi, either took something from someone you shouldn't have, or you're supported by AIPAC. The rest of us have to live. Now, I will say this as well. Those of you who sit in the United States Congress and the United States Senate might have been elected to that office, but you represent a very small part of the population. Which means that in the event that you do not do the bidding of the people as public servants, you have that split in population to contend with. Now, the problem I have with what's going on right now is that both parties think we are stupid. I didn't want to believe that, even up until 2 weeks ago. Everybody's saying vote blue no matter what. We're not going to do that anymore. So for all of you who voted for that, I don't know his name. Like I said, he's an asshole, but that Kirk individual, this is not your fight to fight like that. This is not your entitlement to speak on our behalf in that matter. And that was the first mistake you made. The second mistake you're going to make is to allow Donald Trump to set the rules. And you're going to visit the White House because you want to feel important instead of being a public servant and serving your people. That's what you're going to do. And we already know that. So from this day forth, we have to go on our own path. Because we've crossed the Rubicon with that bullshit. Everybody I talk to has absolutely no faith in the United States government right now, whether they're Democrat or Republican. So we're at the point that you're not going to get any votes. And if you're a Democrat in Congress or the Senate and you want to see MAGA in charge next time, keep it up. Because that's what's going to happen. That is what is going to happen. But I do have a solution. Between now and October 1st, take your funky asses on vacation and let the American people talk in the streets of Washington, D.C. Let us plead our case. We know you're not going to listen, but you're also not going to fight. So in our world, unlike yours, you're obsolete. So what we're going to call this, because it is what it is, since we have a dictator in the White House, and you continue to placate to his desires, this is the Trump Shutdown. Not our shutdown, the Trump shutdown. We're not getting any services, so we're not going to pay your salaries. Plain and simple. So Trump decided that he was going to extort our taxes and extort our worship of some evil person and go along to get along. That's your playbook, not ours. We're still here, willing to defend this country against enemies, both foreign and domestic. You aren't. So what does that make you? Whether you're MAGA, a Democrat in Congress, or one of these whores that make up the Republican Party. Unless you're willing to fight this the way we do, you're of no use to us. There are 340 million people in America. How many people are in the Congress and Senate? And how many people make up this cavalcade of clowns that Donald Trump calls an administration? Average up the United States military. Can you still defeat us? 340 million Americans? I don't think so. And I'm willing to take that challenge. This is the John Brown Alliance. When you see something wrong, do something right.